My First Marathon by Joe Ward. It was May 2006, in sunny Essex in the UK. I woke up early and put on my tight black football shorts and a skin-tight black, long-sleeved Nike top. Black is, of course, the perfect color to wear on a warm, sunny day when you are about to run a marathon. Obviously, I'm being sarcastic. There was no time for breakfast, so I jumped in the car and drove straight to the start line of my first marathon with an empty stomach. I thought, no breakfast means I'll be lighter on my feet today. This will definitely help me during the run. What was my longest run in training, you ask? Not far, around 20 kilometers maximum, just under half the distance of a marathon. That's plenty, I thought. Did I have a coach or running mentor? No, who needs a coach for running? Anyone can run, right? Why would I need someone to tell me how to do something I've been doing since I was a child? Did I join a running club during my training or speak to any other marathon runners for advice? No way. Men never ask for help. It is a sign of weakness. Besides, what is a running club anyway? How would running with other people help me get a good time or improve my running? It sounded like a big waste of time to me. Other runners would just slow me down, I thought. Don't they know I am already an athlete? I've been playing football, rugby, and racket sports for years. I was sure that would give me an advantage over the competition. Did I know anything about hydration on a long run? I could hardly spell the word hydration. The most important fact to me was that there was a pub that served Stella beer near the finish line. Besides, there were 3 aid stations on the course, which I thought would be easily sufficient for a 42.2 kilometer run. Did I take any snacks to fuel me during the marathon? Of course not. I knew nothing about nutrition or the importance of fueling during a marathon. I thought carrying food would just slow me down, and I could always get something to eat at the pub with my pint of Stella. Anyone want a packet of crisps? So, as the gun went off for the start of my first marathon, I decided right there, in the first 10 seconds of the race, to run as fast as I could for as long as I could. What a genius race strategy. Let's get a good time in the first half and get to the pub early, I thought. I didn't own a GPS watch or any sports watch, so I just ran at a pace that made my lungs bleed. I thought, okay, let's hold this pace now. 4 hours, 5 kilometers in, I was feeling great. 20 minutes done, perfect. This marathon would be over in no time. 10 kilometers, okay, I was warmed up and a bit thirsty, but apart from that, I was okay. Though I really shouldn't have worn these tight black shorts. Maybe too much information. 20 kilometers, ouch. So much ouch. My legs hurt, but my extreme thirst distracted me from the pain in my legs. Maybe if I stayed thirsty, this would get easier. 25 kilometers, I was really thirsty now, and my legs felt like they were made of concrete. When did my legs become so heavy? 30 kilometers, hitting the wall. Marathon runners call it hitting the wall. Triathletes call it bonking. But whatever you call it, I was deep in the hurt locker at 30 kilometers. Every cell in my body was shouting at me to stop running. I could barely stand up straight, let alone continue moving forward. As I stood at the 20-mile aid station, my vision blurred, and for a brief second, I thought I was about to die. I cursed myself. Expletives of every variety ran through my mind. This running malarkey really sucked. Why did I even attempt this? I questioned my motivation, my reasoning, and even my existence. Maybe if I died right here, beside the drink station in the Halstead Marathon, the pain would all be over. No longer existing would be a beautiful release from the physical world. Then, out of nowhere, I made a new friend at 30 kilometers who had run over 40 marathons. An incredibly friendly Japanese runner named Hideo introduced himself and coaxed me forward, away from the aid station. Together we walked, then ran, then walked, then ran the last 12 kilometers to the finish line. It was the hardest 12 kilometers of my life. The finish line seemed to move further away, and the kilometers ticked down so slowly it was hard to believe the distance markers were properly placed. I will always be grateful to Hideo for getting me through those 12 kilometers. I was immediately struck by the idea that maybe, eventually, I could become just like Hideo. Maybe, one day far in the future, this might become easier, and I could stop others from contemplating their existence at aid stations. Sitting in the pub after the race, it seemed like a miracle that I had finished. Endorphins flowed through my body, and I felt changed by the experience. I vowed I would never, never, never run a marathon again. What a ridiculous sport. Why do people put themselves through this? When I think back to my complete lack of training, my incorrect choice of running attire, my ridiculous race strategy, and lack of water and food, it really was one of the biggest and most spectacular mess-ups in my life. I literally could not have prepared worse for a marathon. I knew nothing about running and even less about running marathons, but with a little help from Hideo, I got through it and finished. As much as I suffered during my first marathon, I will never forget the wonderful learning opportunity it presented. Do your due diligence. Be patient. Know your subject and prepare for life's challenges. Not preparing is preparing to fail. Never underestimate any challenge or obstacle. Trust the process and respect the distance. Be comfortable receiving help from people who can unlock the doors for you. And the final lesson the marathon taught me was never to wear tight black football shorts on a hot day. Maybe too much information. Sometimes the moments that challenge us the most define us. Dina Castor.